Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We carry on with Kitab al-Hajj. We had stopped at the point where we mentioned a person has left Muzdalifah and they're on their way to Mina. So just to recap quickly, we said on the 8th, this is Yawm al-Tarwiyah, a person is in Mina preparing for the main day, which is the day of Arafah. On this day, we mentioned the Hujjaj have to wait in Arafah. And then once the sun sets, they go to Muzdalifah, spend the night in Muzdalifah. And this is the point we reach. So you're on the 10th. They've read Fajr in Muzdalifah, and before the sun rises, they leave for Mina. Okay, now this 10th day is a very important day. There's a lot of things to do. First thing they do when they leave for Mina, when they leave Muzdalifah and they reach Mina, they go to Palt. They go to Palt, the Jamarat. They pelt what's called Jamratul Aqabah. So a lot of people loosely translate it as the big shaitan, or the main one. And how the way a person pelts is obviously collected some pebbles or some stones. After that, when he reaches, some say he says Allahu Akbar with every throw. Some say he says Bismillah with every throw. And then as he pelts, after pelting, he carries on. And the way to pelt, if I draw for you here, you'll find that if you've seen pictures, it's like a big pond type of a structure, and inside the middle there's the Jamarat. So people are all around here. Now the correct way is to pelt from this side. So your left is facing Makkah and your right is facing Mina. Okay, that's how you'll pelt. Some people do pelt from the side, but Sunnah is to pelt from that side. Okay. Thereafter, here on this day, a person is only pelting 7. Okay, 7 stones he's throwing here at the Jamarat. After that, it's not recommended for him to stop and make dua on this first day. Okay, he then moves to. He's then got an option after pelting. He can cut his hair or shave his hair. So that's the second thing that's required for him to do. So first is the Jamarat. Second is to cut the hair, or he can cut his animal. So if he's got an animal, he can cut the animal. Okay, so let's say after that he slaughters. After slaughtering, he cuts his hair. Thereafter, he can go to Makkah. Okay, he goes to Makkah to make tawaf. It's called Tawaful Ziyarah or Tawaful Ifadah, where he goes to Makkah and he goes on the Kaaba 7 times. And this is a compulsory in Hajj. Remember, we spoke about Tawaful Qudum. And Tawaful Qudum, we said when a person reaches Makkah, that's Sunnah. On this Tawaful Ifadah is compulsory. A person has to do it. And it's recommended for him to do it on the 10th. So if you look at it on the 10th, they've already pelted, they've already cut their animals, they've already shaved or shortened the hair, and they've gone to Makkah to do the tawaf. Okay? After performing this tawaf, now notice how this tawaf can be done on the 10th, which is the day of Eid, or it can be done on the 11th, or it can be done on the 12th. Yeah, Tawaful Ifadah, correct. Or Tawaful Ziyarah, 2 names. After that, a person goes back to Mina. Okay? It's recommended for him to spend the night in Mina. So this is now going to be the 11th. 11th. So he's finished here. He goes to Mina. He spends the night in Mina. Why they spend the night in Mina? Because he needs to pelt on the next day. Okay? So on this day, the Sunnah time is to pelt after Zawal. So the minute Zawal is noon, after Zawal, he goes to pelt. And here now you pelt all 3 Jamarat. And same sequence. So let's say you'll start from here. This will be the small one. you'll pelt. 7, after pelting 7, you make dua. And then you go to the next one, which is somewhere here. You throw 7 stones again. And you make dua. And then you go to the third one. You throw 7 stones, and then you don't have to make dua on this one. It's not compulsory to make dua, but sunnah. This is on the 11th day. Okay. Then on the 12th day, the same thing. And the people will be staying in Mina. It's not compulsory to stay in Mina, but it's better. 12 days is the same thing. After noon, after Zawal, they go to pelt, and they pelt all 3 again. So this is the 12th. They pelt the second one and the third one. They pelt. Okay. So if you look at it, a person started here on the 8th Yom al-Tarwiyah, 9th Arafah, 10th is what we call the day of Eid. The Hujjaj got a lot to do. 11th is mainly pelting. 12th is mainly pelting. If a person can't make their tawaf on this day, then they can make it on this day. If they can't on this day, then they make it on this day. Thereafter, the 13th is now optional if a person wants to remain or not. Okay. On the 13th. Sorry, I've got hay fever. On the 13th, the 13th is an extra day. That's why Allah says in the Quran, وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَعْدُودَاتٍ فَمَنْ تَعَجَّلَ فِي يَوْمَيْنِ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. Whoever wants to go quickly in 2 days, referring to these 2 days, the 11th and the 12th, then there's no harm. وَمَنْ تَأَخَّرَ, whoever wants to remain behind, فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ, also no harm. لِمَنِ اتَّقَى, the one who has taqwa. The person who wants to, who's finished on the 12th, and then it's mentioned that they should leave once they finish the day. If they end up staying here, especially after Zawal, they must go to Pelt if they're still in Mina. Okay, so this is an optional day. Those who want to stay can stay. Those who want to go can go. Let's say a person leaves either on the 12th or the 13th. What's required of him now? Required from him is what's called Tawaf al-Wada'. Notice how this is now the third Tawaf we're speaking about. Tawaf al-Wada' is the farewell Tawaf. And that's now when he's leaving. And it's recommended for him to make his last, his akhira ahdihi bil bayt, so his last interaction literally with Makkah al-Mukarramah is having made Tawaf. Hence he makes the farewell Tawaf and he carries on home. So that's when the farewell Tawaf is. As for Tawaf al-Ifada, again, a person must try and perform it in these days. Some of the scholars do mention that, let's say a person, for example, they're going to leave on the 12th or they're going to leave on the 13th and they never make Tawaf al-Ifada. They just combine, they can combine the Tawaf al-Ifada and Tawaf al-Ziyarah, but better is to separate them both. Also, there's a few masail, other masail they mention regarding Hajj, and inshallah we'll take those. So far what you've taken is a brief description of Hajj and some of the important masail, some of the important places that a person is required to go to. Also, I had forgotten to mention that when a person reaches Makkah, and let's say they make Tawaf al-Qudum, if they go between Safa and Marwa also, and their intention is Hajj, then when they make Tawaf al-Ifada, they don't have to go between Safa and Marwa. And if here they only make Tawaf and they never go between Safa and Marwa, then when they come for Tawaf al-Ifada, then they must go between Safa and Marwa. Okay, that's part of the Hajj. And inshallah, in the next chapter, the author speaks about Tamattu' and Qiran and Ifrad. He speaks about the different ansak in detail. And inshallah, hopefully tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow, inshallah, we'll mention those. Then Thursday, we'll go through a few miscellaneous masail, as well as Friday. If you got any questions with what we've taken? Any questions? No questions. No questions, or can I ask?
Sure, I have a question.
Yeah.
The first pelting we do on the 10th, right? After Eid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So the three times we pelt on the 10th, 11th, and then 12th.
So sorry.
We pelt three times, 10th, 11th, and 12th.
10th, 11th, and 12th
And
compulsory. And 10th day, seven pebbles because you're only pelting one. Okay. And then 11th day, you need 21 pebbles because you're pelting all three 7, 14, 21. 12th day, so I'll just put there 21. 12th day, the same thing. You're pelting all three, 7 each. So you need 21. 21 plus 21 plus 7 is 49. So you need at least 49. Okay. Also, a lot of people who don't have knowledge on that, they think that the shaitan is actually there. So they take shoes and they take rocks and they take all sorts of things. But it's we following in the nusuk and the way of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So you take small pebbles and you throw. Any other question? Is there any particular time to pelt? Yes, we said the better is to pelt after the zawal. So that's generally the mentioned time. However, these days with so much traffic and so many people, scholars allow the people to pelt a little bit early. Some say at any time during the day as well as the night. Also, when it comes to leaving Muzdalifah, so that's on this day here. You've done Arafah and you're here going to Mina. They say for the weak, those who are weak, in terms of the old age, the women, the children, they can leave after half the night has passed, so they don't have to wait up till Fajr. They don't have to wait up to Fajr. Rather, they can leave and they can read their Fajr in Minas. Hence, they can pelt early, so in the early hours of the morning. And as I had mentioned to you before, especially with the amount of people, you find a lot of scholars leaning towards masail, leaning towards fatawa, which are easier, even if that alim doesn't necessarily believe in it. Any other question?
we'll shave our head after the slaughtering, right?
After the slaughtering or before the slaughtering, whatever order, no problem on that day. Whatever
But as
order.
for the yeah, but as for the people who are not doing Hajj or who are doing regular slaughtering, they have to do it
Yeah.
after the
So after you've slaughtered, then it's fine, and you can cut your hair and your nails, etc.